Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. I'm gonna film one of the most insane videos in a while. As you can read the title for this, I'm gonna show you all of my unread TBR. I have now sorted everything because I am reshelving because I got new shelves and I thought this is the best time to do this video. Finding all these books, by the way, took so long. You have no idea. So I don't know if this was the best way to do it, but basically I have taken all my unread TBR around me here. All of these are my unread books. This is why they are stacked like this. Obviously they're not gonna stay like this, but it's for this purpose of this video. And I'm gonna go through all of them. I ended up on a count of 547 books. That includes manga, which I will also show you, which at the time when I'm filming this, I haven't read yet. I literally read one book a day lately, so like as this video goes up, the number would have gone down, but maybe also a bit up because I will probably receive books in the mail in like 2 days. My TBR is kind of sorted of how long I own the book. So the ones that I start with is the ones that own the longest. Ish, because I did restart my list at some point, so you would start off with some Brandon Sanderson here, but I have owned other books longer than those. But that was because I restarted my list for some stupid reason at the point, because I thought that it was wrong. And then I just went from like how things were put in my shelves, and therefore it is kind of wrong by dates. But as we go further in, it is literally by the date I get them ish, because I always put them on the bottom when I get a new book. Except for the ones that I realized I hadn't put on the list at all, which is why I had to go through every single book on the list and then see which ones were left over, which took also ages. Some of it's wrong, but I don't know if you care, but I think it's interesting to see which books people own for a really long time. So you would definitely see some books that I don't really have that much interest in anymore. Probably should unhaul some of them, but I don't know if I will. And I even like had an unhaul earlier where a lot of the books were like some of my oldest ones, but they are gone now, so obviously they're not here. I filmed another one like this in 2020, I think, which is not that long ago if you think about it. It's only 3 years, and my TBR is almost the same number. It's because I buy almost as much as I read, which is insane. But okay, without further ado, let's just go through every single book. Obviously I'm just gonna show the book, I'm not gonna talk about it. And you should see the background changed a lot around me because I need to move the books around and it's gonna take ages. Let's just get started. The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. White Sand by Brandon Sanderson. Volume 1. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. The Great Gatsby by F. Skip Fitzgerald. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. The Black Prism and The Binding Knife by Brent Weeks. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Zeros by Scott Westerfeld and Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti. More Than This by Patrick Ness. The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett. Blue Lily Lily Blue and The Waving King by Maggie Seawater. Flawed by Cecilia Arand. And Love Rosie by Cecilia Aran. Marathon by Tone Almhjell. This also has an English edition, but I don't remember the English title right now. Bergens Ungdomsteater by Pedro Carmona Alvarez. So it's like Bergen's teenage theater in English, I guess. Me, Earl and a Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. Kids of Appetite by David Arnold. Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Bernard. The Storm by Regina Bergen. Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman. Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. But Your Horse by David Bussell. Legend Handbook by PC Cast with Kim Donner. And Dragon's Oath by PC and Kristen Cast. The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. Fact to Me or Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alke. Mi Briljante Venninne or My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. If I Stay by Gail Foreman. Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Then I had the 3 first Gone books by Michael Grant in Norwegian. I just don't bother figuring out the English titles for them, so you get what they are. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Laurel Miracle. Then I have The Runestone, The Dragon Journey and The Frost Kingdom og by Anette Riise Hansen, which are all in Norwegian. True Blood, book 8 and 9, both in Norwegian. Don't bother figuring out the English titles. Eerie by Maria Davana Hadley. The Tread in Norwegian by Victoria Hislop. Slammed, This Girl and Point of Retreat by Colleen Hoover. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. The Evolution of Mara Dyer and The Retribution of Mara Dyer. All by Michelle Hopkin. Tusen strålende solar or A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Roseblood by G. Howard. The Gunslinger and the Drawing of the Tree by Stephen King. Wolfheart by Richard A. Knock. Or not. The Silence by Tim Lieben. Sunstorm book 1, 2 and 3, which is a Norwegian, I think, dystopia series. The Fall of 5 and The Revenge of 7 by Peter Cuslore. Champion by Maria Lu. The Golden Lily and The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead. Sheltering Rain by Jojo Moyes. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Himmelblomst Træet and Aphrodite's Basseng, both by Gert Nygaardshaug. So it's like the Sky Bloom Tree and Aphrodite's Pool. Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Shadow Queen by C.G. Redwine. Knokkelrabbelrynten or The Maze of Bones, the 39 Clues first book by Rick Riordan. Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Los Peregrinos by Cecilia Samartin. Salvadorena by Cecilia Samartin. The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. The Lying Game, Never Have I Ever, and Two Truths and a Lie, all by Sarah Shepard. Black Heart by Justin Somper. Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. En Blå Tråd or A Blue Thread, something, by Ann Tyler. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson. Heartless by Marissa Mayer. Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Grodin. Truth Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. Then I have Panserhjerte, Gjenferd and Politi by Jon Esbø. This is like the, I think, 8, 9 and 10 in the Horror Hall series. I just don't bother figuring out the English titles. This is Where It Ends by Mireke Nijkamp. Rogues by George R. Martin and Gardner Dozois. Ghost Talkers by Mary Robinette Koval. The Diabolic by S.G. Kincaid. Hard Mark by Veronica Roth. Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. The Young Elites by Marie Lu. The Viceman's Fair by Patrick Rothfuss. The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. Empress of a Thousand Skies by Rhoda Bellessa. Blood of Wonderland by Colleen Oakes. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I Will Give You the Sun by Jandine Nelson. Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. Hunted by Megan Spooner. Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett. The Sandcastle Empire by Kyla Olsen. New Road Rising by Jennifer Wilson. Actually found 2 mistakes on my list while filming, so the final number will be an N one. I know there's not more mistakes. The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. The word for world is forest and The Left-Hand Darkness, both by Ursula Le Guin. Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. Emperor of 8 Islands by Leanne Hearn. Half a King by Joe Abercrombie. Because You Love to Hate Me, edited by Amy Ree. Traitor to the Throne by Alvin Hamilton. Frivillige, aka Free Will by Helga Hjort. Mofongo by Cecilia Samartin. The Winner's Curse by Marie Rotowski. Never Fade by Alexander Bracken. Color Project by Sarah Abrams. Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. Emperor of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. Fire by Kristen Cashore. Guden or the God by Jørgen Jæger. Zombie-utbruddet, or like the zombie outbreak by Robert Ness. Arcanum Unbounded by Brandon Sanderson. Read a lot on this, but not all, so I'm still carrying it on my TBR. Vega Kampen for en ny verden og Vega The Fight for the New World by Elin Victoria Unstad. Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard. Postkort fra Hellas og Postcards from Greece by Victoria Hislop. The Weight of Feathers by Anna Marie McLemore. Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. The Liar's Key by Mark Lawrence. The Walled City by Warren Grodin. The Winner's Kiss by Marie Rotowski. Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. The Trader's Crux by Jessica Protner. Boken til Havresekken, Din til døden by Gunnar Stolzen. Don't even bother trying to translate that right now. Nøkkel or The Key by Mats Strandberg and Sabe Alfgren. Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. Prince of Fools by Mark Lawrence. The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Passenger by Alexander Bracken. Beast of Extraordinary Circumstance by Ruth Emil Long. Byens Spor or The City's Traces by Lars Saabye Christiansen. War of the Cards by Colleen Oakes. Then I have a bunch of books by the Norwegian author Gunnar Stolzen. So we have Tornerose sov i 100 år, Kvinnen i kjøleskapet, I mørket alle ulver grå, Hekseringen, Svarte får, Begravde hunder biter ikke, Skriften på veggen og Ansikt til ansikt. They are all in Norwegian. I just don't bother translating the titles. I did it in my last video. Basically, they're all about this dude from my city. so eventually I want to read them. Lydian Skin Deep by Brandon Sanderson. Så til siste hemmelighet by Santa Montefiore. It has like, you know, English title, Last Secret of the Deverils. Havboka or The Ocean Book by Morten A. Støknes. Half the World and Half a War by Joe Abercrombie. Med på leken by Von Hirsch, like On the Game-ish, maybe. Video by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Ink Mistress by Audrey Colthurst. Hero of the Fall by Alvin Hamilton. The Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. Renegades by Marissa Mayer. Call by Peter O'Gillian. Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. All About Mia by Lisa Williamson. Wayfarer by Alexander Bracken. The Rose Society by Marie Lu. Goblin by Anna Stevens. Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alir Science. Goodbye Days by Jeff Santner. The Shadow World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Almost Midnight by Rainbow Rowell. The Chaos of Stars by Kirsten White. Houdin by Julie Murphy. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Power by Naomi Alderman. Seen It by Sasha Alsberg and Lisa Cummins. Perfect by Cecilia Aron. Swarm by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti. My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinman. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Blood of a Thousand Stars by Rhoda Belleza. Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie. The Fates Divide by Veronica Roth. Legendary by Stefan Garber. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. Byen og Spor Mai by Lars Saabye Christiansen. Sue Europa og Sue Europe by Gert Nygårdshøi. My Plain Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows. Rebel Heart by Maura Young. Sorcery by Terry Pratchett. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Raging Star by Moira Young. Path of Thorns by Brie Barton. Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas. A Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Compass Buddy by Hasse Hope. A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. Dødsengler 3 Deathly Angels 3 by Stefan R.M. Sørum. Nexus by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti. Snøsøsteren or The Snow Sister by Maya Lunda. Then we have The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. I can't find it. I haven't unhauled it or anything. I just don't know where it is. I will probably find it when I reshelf and stuff. But it's the one physical book I couldn't find. And it's super annoying, but here's a photo. The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. The Reluctant Queen by Sarah Beth Durst. Throne of Jade by Naomi Novik. Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. The Latest Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. Everless by Sarah Holland. Søsterklokkene or The Sister Bells by Lars Smitting. A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas. Warhorse by Marie Lu. Then we have not the first book, but I did bother taking it out. In the Hand of the Goddess, The Woman Who Rides Like a Man, and Lioness Rampant. All by Tamara Pierce. So not the first one, but the 3 next ones in the World series, whatever we call it. Then we have the Books of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin, where I read the first 4 ones, but not the last 2. So I haven't read Tales of Earthsea and The Other Wind, which I am getting in like separate editions because they finally produced nice ones. But I'm just holding up the whole book because like I haven't completed the whole entity of this, I guess. Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. Fire and Blood by George R. Martin. The Crimson Petal and the White by Michael Faber. Kallehjärta or Cold Hearts by Jonas Olsen. Louis Mann or The Louis Man by Peter May. Dark Detectives by Stephen Jones. Klokkemakeren by Gert Nygårdshøi. The Clock Maker. Astonish Me by Maggie Shipstead. Men som hater kvinner or Men Who Hate Women by Stieg Larsson. I think it has a completely different English title. 8 We Fall by Sarah Herian. The Near Witch by V. Schwab. Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And Memento by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutowski. A Little Prince in Japanese. The Complete Persepolis by Marie-Jane Satrapi. March Comes In Like a Lion, Volume 1, 2, and 3 in Japanese. Skeletonite from Another World, 1 to 5 in Japanese. The Last Man, Volume 1. Storesøster or Big Sister by Gunnar Stolzen. Historia om det tapte barnet by Elena Ferrante or The History of the Lost Child. Definition av umulig by Camilla Sammo or The Definition of Impossible. Warriors of the Altai by Robert Jordan. The Sisters Grimm by Menna van Praag. Saltaire by Alice Osman. We Are Blood and Thunder by Kezia Lupo. Call on the Hawk by Maggie Seawater. Blå or Blue by Maya Lunda. Slave by Brittany Morris. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. Each of Us a Desert by Marco Shiro. Heart of Flames by Nikki Parapreto. City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett. City of Spells by Alexander Christo. Reaper of Souls by Rena Barron. Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. The Iron Daughter. Iron Queen and Iron Knight, all by Julie Kagawa. City of Blades by Robert Jackson Bennett. Broken Web by Laurie M. Lee. Wings of Shadow by Nikki Peripreto. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. Phoenix Extravagant by Yoon Ha Lee. The Iron Raven by Julie Kagawa. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Conversation with Friends by Sally Rooney. The Hollow Heart by Maria Rotowski. Rosewater Redemption by Tay Thompson. Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Slutten or The End by Matt Steinberg. Witches Steeped in Gold by Sianon Smart. The Last Graduate by Nomi. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. The Fractured Light by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Again, But Better by Christine Riccio. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. Curses and Kisses by Zendaya Menon. Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. Illustrated by John Rocco. You can't even go in a shelf. It's too big. The Want of Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. Lore by Alexander Bracken. Son of the Storm by Suyi Davis Okunboa. Towering Sky by Catherine McGee. A pile of book fell, but honestly we had it all this time without anyone falling. It was kind of a miracle. Ravnene or the Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. Wildcard by Marie Lu. Gilded by Marissa Mayer. The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. The People in the Trees by Hanya Gihara. If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. Box set of all the Spiderwick Chronicle books from 1 to 5. It doesn't say the titles on the side. Wow. It is Field Guide, The Seeing Stone, Lucinda's Secret, The Ironwood Tree, and The Wrath of Mulgarath. Yay. Rebel's Creed by Daniel B. Green. May the Best Man Win by Seer Elor. Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear. A Marvelous Light by Freika Mars. The Kindred by Alicia Dow. This Roman Kingdom by Thera Mafi. The Sorte Fåra or The Black Sheep by Jørgen Jäger. Kolibri by Cecilia San Martin. Sulieka åpner øynene, so Sulieka opens her eyes by Guseliakina. Bynes Spor Tree, Jesper Trude. The Warrior Air by Cinda Williams Chima. Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bowley. Exiled Queen by Cinda Williams Chima. The Crimson Crown by Cinda Williams Chima. Er mor død or Is Mother Dead by Vigdis Hjorth. Kniv or Knife by Jon Jesper. Et liv forbi or A Life Passed by Helga Flatland. Princess and Promises by Zendaya Menon. Jade Fire Gold by Ju C.L. Tan. The Righteous by Renee Adier. Redranger's Goal by Shannon McGuire. Honestly, I thought I read this. The Marvelous by Claire Can. Ashes of Gold by G.L. Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson. Blood Cyan by Deborah Falai. Right Where I Left You by Julian Winters. The Iron Sword by Julie Kagawa. The Diviners. Lair of Dreams. For the Devil Breaks You. And The King of Crows by Libra Bray. All books in the Diviners series. Goliath by Torchione Bocci. House of Hollow by Krista Shutterland. Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saed. Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. Atlas 6 by Olive Blake. Girl 17 Not Missing by Camilla Sandmo og Jente 17 Ikke Savnet. Alma Frang En Flyvende Fars Hemmelighet by Ida Tufte Mikkelsen og Alma Frang and the Flying Dad's Secrets. The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. Nate Plus One by Kevin Van Wy. Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb. Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Galatea by Madeline Miller. Once Upon a K-Pop Prom by Kat Cho. Book of Nights by Holly Black. Telewolves I'm Home by Carol Rifka Brunn. Double Booked by Lily Lindon. If You Still Recognize Me by Cynthia So. Out of the Blue by Jason June. The Way of Kings Prime by Brandon Sanderson. Don't know if this even counts as a book since it's Way of Kings, but I know it's very different, so I'm counting it as its own, and I might read this and be like, compare one day. Downchart by Brandon Sanderson. Drømme nummer 3 or The Dream of a Tree by Maya Lunde. Sommeren Alt skjedde or The Summer It All Happened by Iben Akalie. Some books are written up twice. This Place Is Still Beautiful by C.C. Tian. Blodmåne or Blood Moon by Jon Espe. Moonflower by Kaysen Calendar. Rainbow Milk by Paul Mendes. The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Alma Frang in Stålemerkene, and I can't remember what Stålemerker is in English right now. A Random Dark and Sweet by Judy Eileen. Ashley Parker Doesn't Fall by Ashley Herring Blake. Tante Ulrikes Vei by Sessions-Saka. And Good Book by Sessions-Saka. So this is Tante Ulrikes Road and Yellow Book. The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. The House of Always by Jane Lyons. You Will Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. Homebody by Rupi Kaur. The Dark Forest by Shizin Liu. The School for Good and Evil, A War Without Princess by Suman Chainani. Beach Read and Book Lovers, both by Emily Henry. My Mechanical Romance by Alex Farrow Falmouth. The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruka Murakami. Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. City of Giants and Blood of Giants by Robin Hobb. No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. The Kingdom of Copper and the Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. The Atlas Paradox by Ollie Blake. Fool's Assassin, Fool's Quest, and Assassin's Fate, all by Robin Hobb. Modern Fairy Tales by Holly Black. This Winter by Alice Oseman. League by Nina Boge. Gleanings by Neil Schusterman. Voksne Mennesker or Grown Up People by Marie Ørber. Tix, Den Stygge Andungen, or Tix, The Ugly Duckling by Andreas Haukeland. Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors. Saint by Sierra Simone. These Infinite Treads by Tara Mafi. House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. The Stolen Air by Holly Black. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by Mo Xiang Tong Shu. Ulv Ulv or Wolf Wolf by Elin Victoria Ulstad. Heroes by Joe Abercrombie. Crypto Okan, Crypto the... I've forgotten what Okan is in English right now. Like a storm, a huge one. Pretty sure has an old name. By Hans-Jørgen Sandnes. God Killer by Hannah Caner. De Tre or Tree by Barry Perrin. The Shadow Force Lost by James Islington. Stellar Loon by Shannon Messenger. Chaos Theory by Nick Stone. A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. The Lost World by Michael Crichton. Crichton. A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. A Dance of Giants by George R. Martin. Curse by Marissa Mayer. The Faithless by C. Al Clark. She is a Haunting by Trong Tan Tran. Finlay Donovan Knocks Them Dead by Al Cosimano. Tales from the Cafe and Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence. After the Fire by Will Hill. The Hound of the Uberills by Kim Nguyen. Siren Queen by Neil Waugh. Season of Fears by Shannon McGuire. Ballad and Dagger by Danielle Jose Older. Unraveler by Frances Hardinge. The Demigod Diaries by Rick Riordan. Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson. Superman Dawnbreaker by Matt Della Pena. Bitter by Ekweke Messi. An Unreliable Magic by Win Chapeko. Witchlings by Claribel A. Ortega. Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Siran J. Shao. The Memory of Souls by Jen Lyons. Flashback by Shannon Messenger. Legacy and Unlocked. Percy Jackson's Greek Gods by Rick Riordan and illustrated by John Rocco. How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. And the King Chronicles Survival Guide by Rick Riordan. The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie. Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Ashes of the Sun by Django Wexler. The Nakano Thrift Shop by Hirimo Kawakami. And Record of a Night Too Brief by Hirimo Kawakami. Saint's Blood by Sebastian D. Castell. The Bone Shell War by Andrea Stewart. Final Strife by Sarah L. Arifi. Unexpected Everything, Save the Date, and Take Me Home Tonight, all by Morgan Matson. The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. Spoilers for my next haul. Even in Darker Stars by Heather Favset. Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. In Watchful City by S. Shizin Liu. Tal Hengivenhet by Keigo Higashino. Don't remember the English title. Lightbringer by Claire Legrand. In the Offlight by Alexander Bracken. And The Darkest Legacy by Alexander Bracken. Dark Triumph and Mortal Heart by Robin Lafevers. The Winner's Crime by Marie Ruthowski. The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Prison in Light by Ben Alderson. Tyrant's Throne by Sebastian D. Castell. The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Along the Razor's Edge by Rob G. Hayes. Miss I Sandwich by Miyako Kawakami. The Shadow of the Gods by John Grine. How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik. Festival's Cast by Maja Lunde. Småtrolla og Den Store Oversvømmelsen. I think it's like The Big Flood something by Tove Jansson. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Nordlys 2, Vikingene og Oraklet. So this is Northern Lights to the Vikings and the Oracle. The Discord of Gods by Jen Lyons. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. Tokyo Dreaming by Emeko Jean. Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. Girl Gone Viral by Arvin Amadi. Sharp Ends by Joe Abercrombie. The Mystery of the Blue Train by Agatha Christie. Via Bamba Stars by Kessia Lupo. Master Artificer by Justin Cole. Nick Blake and the Remarkables by Angie Thomas. Within the Sanctuary of Wings by Marie Brennan. No Game No Life Volume 1 to 5 in the light novel editions by Yu Kamiya. Colorless Tsukuro Tasaki and His Years of Pilgrimage by Hiraka Murakami. Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff. Now I actually think the rest is manga and graphic novels, which is like, shit man. Akame ga Kill Volume 1 by Takahiro. The Ancient Magus Bride Volume 7 by Koro Yamasaki. Blue Flag Volume 6 by Kaito. Demon Slayer Volume 13 by Koiharu Gotouge. Morigami Volume 25 by Adachi Toka. Chainsaw Man Volume 1 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Beastars Volume 19 by Paru Itagaki. Given Volume 7 by Natsuki Kiso. Beastars Volume 20 by Paru Itagaki. Toilet Bone Hanaka-kun Volume 4 by Aida Iro. Fans Volume 5 Rise by C.S. Picard John the Mad. Flying Witch Volume 11 by Shiro Ishizuka. Bingo Stray Dogs Volume 15 by Kafka Sagiri and Sanka Harukuwa. My manga list moves all the time though, so these shift around and it's not usually on my TBR list. Killing Stalking Deluxe Edition 1 by Kogi. My Dress Up Darling Volume 6 by Shinji Fukuda. Solo Leveling Volume 6 by Shugong. Saga Volume 9 by Fiona Stamples and Brian K. Vaughan. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 17 by Gege Akutami. Chainsaw Man Volume 2 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 18 by Gege Akutami. Bow Surrender Riot Volume 4 by Keito Gaku. One Piece Volume 1, 2 and 3 by Eiichiro Oda. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Volume 1 by Hirohiko Araki. Spy Family Volume 9 by Tatsuya Endo. Tomi by Junji Ito. Beastars Volume 22 by Paru Itagaki. My Hero Academia Volume 33 by Koi Horikoshi. Land of the Lustrous Volume 7 by Haruko Ichikawa. And One Piece Volume 4, 5 and 6 by Eiichiro Oda. Then I have Mørke Alven or The Dark Elf by Helen Kalheim. Volume 1 and 2. Then Orja Complete Collection 2 by Ichigo Takano. Then Erase 1 and 2 by Kei Sanbe. Then Apegio of Blue Steel Volume 1 by Arc Performance. Sword Art Online, I believe in the middle of the series by lots of different people. Volume 1 and 2. So the best for the end, you know. So we have Hellsing Volume 1 and 2 and 3, which I think is all serious. Deluxe editions. Then I have Volume 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 of Berserker Deluxe Edition by Kentaro Miura, and that was the last one on my TBR. And this took like almost 4 hours to film because there was so much moving on books. So I'm dead. But I had some breaks. And I hope you enjoyed seeing literally all of my physical TBR except the one, the thieves, whatever I couldn't find. This was insane. I don't think the video will be that long because obviously it's just me showing each book. But holy shit, that's a lot of books. It took much longer than I thought it would take. Now you could almost see a lot of my taste evolve. Obviously I put all the manga in the end. I have received those in the middle of a lot of the other things. It's really interesting for me to reflect upon, etc. And it's fun to watch that all my Unread Books video because it's fun. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Leave a huge shocked emoji face down below if you have enjoyed this and somehow bothered to watch to the end. Thank you so much for all your support and thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go and take a picture of myself in front of all these books and you should see me later in a new video. Goodbye!